Sure. All right. Shout out to the people born in the year of the Macintosh. Well, I'm Jeremiah. I'm a geriatric millennial, apparently, and I have grown up extremely online. We've been looking at the past and looking at the future the last few days. I want you to think back to what was your first social network? Well, for me, it was MySpace. Remember Tom? I spent a lot of time with Tom. I was customizing the CSS on my MySpace profile, and what little gay boy growing up on a farm didn't have a crush on this guy? I loved MySpace. But when Facebook came into existence, I was on my university, and my friends basically, they dragged me to it. And poor Tom, well, he got replaced by some blue guy who apparently is not Mark Zuckerberg, but actually Al Pacino. And then when I graduated, I joined my tech peers on Twitter. And then my friends moved to Instagram and Snapchat and Tumblr, and I followed them there too. Now, I've left out countless other social apps just to keep this short, but for me, finding community online has been this nomadic journey for 2 decades. I would go set up a space for myself, I would switch my attention, and then I basically stayed until that party moved somewhere else. Meta's and Twitter's ability to outplay, and outlast its competitors provided some relative stability for a decade. They established unprecedented global dominance, and for a while, it seemed like Facebook and Twitter, they were going to be brands that would be around for the rest of my life. However, these digital empires, they now are starting to show some stages of decline, similar to those of other empires. They've just become too big to govern uniformly. And these are 2 of the best books that I've read in the last year. They will make you look at your life and look at your choices. And for me, I'm one of the millions of people who have chosen to stop or reduce my time on Twitter and Facebook. Because I'm just tired of being governed by reckless billionaires who can't keep a good party going. And I'm tired of being a digital nomad online. I'm tired of digital landlords. And I'm tired of not having control over how I get to interact with my friends and family online. So what do we do? How do we move from this social network feudalism to democracy? If only there were a global network designed for information sharing that could help with this problem. Well, fortunately, the W3C is coming to our rescue again. It's been giving us great APIs since 1991. ActivityPub and ActivityStreams in 2018 became the web platform's official APIs for social interactions. They turn any website into a social network profile that can be followed, liked, and commented upon. Now, here are the 5 steps to implement the social web, and I'm going to go over those real quick. The first is to implement WebFinger. It's a webified version of some 1970s era command for resolving a username to a URL. It's a terrible name for a very useful feature. And it uses a well-known URL path for retrieving user information. And in this case, it returns the URL for an ActivityPub actor or a user profile. And because the web uses URIs for IDs, I need to add all of that information about my user profile in the ActivityStreams JSON format. And this is just how I'm going to specify my display name, bio, profile image, header image, location, that sort of stuff. And once I have a profile that can be found, I need to represent the content on my website in the ActivityStreams JSON format. So in the same way that I take the content that's on my website and I reformat it for RSS, I'm just going to do that same sort of thing, but I'm going to reformat it so that it can be sent out by the ActivityPub protocol. And there's also an index of all of my posts called an outbox, and that word choice will make sense in just a moment. So everything I've mentioned up to this point, that can actually be statically generated and hosted. However, ActivityPub is a server API specification that I need to implement. Now, it has this inbox endpoint, and that's how other people's social websites are going to request to subscribe to my content updates. And it's also how I'm going to receive other people's content, their comments, reactions to my posts. So I have to store that list of subscribers and anything else that they send to me. And when I'm ready to notify my subscribers of new content, my server sends the ActivityStreams JSON data to the ActivityPub inbox endpoints of my subscribers. So this is just like a similar in concept to SMTP, sending an email to a list. So those are the big ideas if you want to make your website social. And I highly recommend Evan Perdramo's book for learning all the details. Now, not everyone can or wants to run their own website. Fortunately, small community servers are out there, so go check them out. The social web, it's already here. The EU has been pushing for it. I hope you come join me on it and bring a friend with you. Thank you.